Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Nebula Theater cast. Today, we want to talk about Robbie Reyes because of the new Marvel Tokon game that came out. Happy August, everyone. Today, I'm your host. I am Santi Sherm. With us today, newcomer to the Nebula Theater cast, we have Armo.
Hello, I am Armand 9K, a an animator for the future episodes of Nebula Theater, and I just really like Ghost Rider. That's why I'm here, and his matches are cool.
All right. With us today, second cast in a row. Maybe he'll be a regular cast person. Pin, say hi.
Hi, it's me.
And you know him, you love him. We got Zorro with us today.
I'm back, y'all.
We actually have 4 people this time. We know what we're doing at Nebula Theater
Full
Co.
cast.
All right. Now, we asked about Robbie Reyes, but since we're talking about Robbie, we also thought we would ask the community just kind of what hell or demon or devil themed matchups they wanted to see. And this first matchup that got suggested is interesting because these are both Robbie Reyes matchups. This is a bit of a triangle here. We have Etrigan versus Devilman.
I love this matchup. Etrigan is a really underrated DC character. He has such a cool story, and he's like a really interesting character. I love this matchup. I think it's very, very cool for both characters. And visually speaking, you can have like this really cool like transition to like hell. I think they both like grow in size to like a big degree. These like crazy like weapons that Etrigan has would be awesome to clash against Akira. I just think that this matchup rocks. And Etrigan, he's generally like an underrated DC character. I don't know if a lot of people know him. Maybe Sherm does.
I mean, yeah, he was featured in like Brave and the Bold as a child was when I first encountered him. But he's also in like the DC animated movies and I was gonna say the comics, but that doesn't help anyone if they don't read the comics.
Yeah. He's very cool. This is not my favorite for Akira in particular, but this probably is the best for Devilman himself. So yeah, I love it. It's awesome.
Because like the connection between Etrigan, Devilman, and Robbie Reyes or any other Ghost Riders, it's like the human fused with a
With demon.
with a demon, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's
like,
the whole thing.
these three constantly being compared to each other makes total sense.
Yeah.
Might just come down to personal taste on which combo you prefer.
Yeah, and what character you like more and stuff like that.
Yeah. We also have people had several Nero matchups they wanted us to talk about. We have Nero versus Hellboy and Nero versus Magic. Do either of you guys have a preference on which of these two matchups you like more? If you had to pick one out of these two,
Personally, I like Nero Magic a lot. Just for like pure fight potential, and having like Devil Trigger go up against Dark Child, like that was just like would be a really sick visual. And there's like a lot more to play off of for like both characters.
yeah.
I would say, even with my little exposure to Magic, primarily being from Rivals and Tokon. Wow. But yeah, and I just think that it's just cool. It's just cool for both.
Yeah.
I like that more.
I really like comparing Hell and Devil May Cry to Limbo. I think because Hell and Marvel's like an absurd outerverse, but Limbo is like much more lower scale and much easier to compare to Devil May Cry Hell. So that sounds cool to me.
Yeah. Although I'm kind of glad you guys talked about that because I'm actually more, as far as Nero goes, I kind of like Hellboy more for him just because Magic has a really good spread, and like there are options for Magic I kind of prefer more for Magic, like Karlach or Riku. So as far as Nero goes, I think him and Hellboy have some pretty good dynamics with each other.
I'm also not
Yeah.
mad at Nero Hellboy just because I think Hellboy would be a fun character to just talk about and feature. So
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
yeah,
because like when I think about like Hellboy matchups, this is the one where it's like it's not the perfect one, but like it's definitely one of Hellboy's best options. And like when you consider like okay, if I do Magic Nero, it kind of just locks Hellboy out of his best option. So if we ever wanted to cover him, it'd be weird. So like I think if we wanted to cover Hellboy, this would be like the premier option for him at the moment.
I remember hearing about Marceline versus Hellboy one time, but I'm not sure if that's fully what I'd want for a Hellboy matchup. But I have heard it.
Interesting.
Is it?
Yeah, for help, I'm more of like a Hellboy Alucard guy from Hellsing, but that's neither here or there.
I guess the thing is like Hellboy's just so much more yoked than Alucard, but it would be a cool animation.
I think that
Yeah.
Hellboy has a very interesting spread.
Yeah.
This is like the very obvious one to do. I don't know a lot about Devil May Cry, so I can't comment a lot. But I think both options seem very cool
Are
from an
there
animation point of view.
are there any other Nero matchups you guys like? Or are these just kind of the two big ones?
Don't ask me. I don't know.
Like,
It's
I don't know, like I'm a very
I've heard-
passive
I'm sorry.
observer for Devil May Cry, so like I don't really know too much about it. So I'm like, all right, these two, they kind of vibe with each other. I like it. Sorry for cutting you off.
No, you're good. I've heard Nero versus Ichigo, which is really funny because both Johnny and Bosch voice characters, but like it's just how similar they are in terms of narrative and as characters. It like I see it, but also I just do someone else from Bleach. I please.
Fair. But as a matchup, I can definitely see why Ichigo versus Nier would be cool.
Oh, definitely.
Next up, we have an interesting one. Someone wanted us to talk about Alistair versus Makima.
So, if I may, these two characters especially are pretty relevant to me specifically right now, as some people may know. This matchup is definitely interesting. I think there's like a thing, kind of like with Alucard and Makima, where like this one has like Alistair's being controlled, and has like this chain motif attached to him, and Makima is like this control devil who like controls other people. In terms of the debate, I think Makima pretty solidly beats Alistair. I know Hasbin has this like pseudo immortality weird thing. I don't know if Makima can really do, but I feel like she just completely just outstats him in that kind of way. But in terms of like an actual fight animation, I think it could be like really cool. Like Makima has this like insane huge army with like a bunch that has like a huge like different powers and abilities, like the Future Devil, Reze, stuff like that. Oh, sorry, Chainsaw Man spoilers, I guess. My bad. And Alistair, he has Nifty and Husk in his arsenal. I don't know if he has like these little minions as well. I don't know if he has anything else. But it'd be like in terms of like a personality clash, it might be pretty fun. I'm not really against this. This could be like a pretty neat animation. I wouldn't be really mad about it.
Yeah, like it's as someone who loves Alistair as a character and would love to cover him on the show. I'm not sure how I feel about this one because their personalities would definitely clash well, but like this is gonna get into the spoilers for Makima a bit. But so spoilers for an anime where this twist was already kind of apparent. But with Makima, her whole thing is that she can control people who she sees as below her, and people that she seems like she can subjugate. And Alistair's whole thing is trying to get out of being subjugated. So like, I don't really see how Alistair really gets around that, and that really kills the debate for me. But like, as far as like a DBX, this would be really fun to see play out.
Really
Oh, yeah,
quick,
definitely.
Zoro in the chat, Man of Action just goes, Pin just filled Chainsaw Man for me. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I'm a jerk. I'm sorry.
James
Oh
on
man, I'll shut up.
spoilers. We already went through that with Death Battle.
Well,
Oh.
I gave a spoiler warning, so hopefully they muted when I said that.
Well,
Oopsies.
I'm so sorry. My bad.
I think Makima's hacks could like debatably work on like her entire spread, so it's not necessarily like a huge thing against Alucard. Or I keep saying Alucard. Pins just got me Alucard Makima pilled. I apologize. Alistair, I don't think this is a huge knock against Alistair. I always hate when other people say this, but I'm gonna be a hypocrite and say it. I kind of want to wait to see like what Alistair does in like season 3 or however many more seasons they get, because we know all about what Makima's like ulterior motives are, and Makima's story's done. We have like a lot of theories and a lot of like thematic directions for what Alistair's ultimate goal is beyond just being powerful. Some are like he wants to be truly free, which if that is the case, I kind of like the idea of like the radio demon control that wants to seek freedom versus like the control devil that wants to control everything. I think that's like an interesting little comparison. I do genuinely think this is a solid option for both. I don't know. I've just never been able to get into any Alistair matchup in particular because I would want something that plays off of like the radio aesthetic really well. Maybe Alistair like fucks with a movie projector and that's how the fight starts. I don't know. It's like
that would be very appropriate considering how he just hates like anything after radio, like TV, movies, and whatnot. He's just like literally made a deal with Veg. It's like, I'll help you make a commercial as long as you promise never to bother me about being in a commercial ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like with Alistair Makima, I see it. I see what people like would want out of it. I don't know. I guess I'd wait for Alistair to do literally fucking anything in the and like literally do anything in the show. So
we're past the 5-minute point. You're good.
Okay, cool, awesome. Yeah, I'd see Alistair do anything in the show instead of like lose.
And again, sorry for spoiling.
We have Beelzebub from Record of Ragnarok versus Zareth from Fairy Tail. This is interesting to me just because I don't see this series combo very often, so it's kind of interesting. Are any of you three particularly big fans of Record of Ragnarok or Fairy Tail?
I love Record of Ragnarok, but I don't know anything about Fairy Tail, unfortunately, so I cannot comment.
I know about Fairy Tail. I haven't watched too much of Record of Ragnarok. I think the big appeal for this one is that both of them are kind of like the Beelzebub is kind of like, I actually can't really comment too much about Beelzebub, but like Zareth's whole thing is that like he's like this god of destruction type being, but like, you know, he was the one that founded black magic. But he also kind of doesn't want to be like that. Like things just die around him, and every time he gets emotional, like he has this curse that just kills things around him that he cares about. So, and as far as I know, like, Pin, correct me if I'm wrong, but Beelzebub is more of like this nihilistic experimental guy or scientist type person.
That's like a very simple way to say it, but like basically, yeah.
I think Beelzebub also wants to die because he's also cursed with immortality by Satan. I think.
Yeah, I think the general thing of this matchup is they're both like these nihilistic, like just like kill me kind of characters. I'm guessing.
Yeah, nihilistic characters that cause a lot of death that just kind of want to die.
So this
honestly, I think thematically it works really well, and it'd be interesting just to see like, all right, could their like penchants for killing everything except themselves actually work on the other person?
So this is almost like a wholesome Death Battle Nebula Theater option where they're just like, hey, let's see if we can figure out how to kill each other.
Yeah, just like, all right. Whoever wins, good for you.
Like the fight starts with them both in
loses, good for you.
The fight starts with them both in like a fantasy laboratory, just like going over notes together, and they're like, I've got it.
I got it, let's try it.
That's a little out of character, but it's very funny.
Yeah. I have like very little knowledge of Fairy Tail outside of like just like the main like guild like cast thing. And I did not watch Record of Ragnarok past season 1. So I don't have much stake in this, but I do see the vibe of the match. This is pretty neat.
Yeah, that's fair. I vibe with the series combo. I think Fairy Tail and Record Ragnarok could be interesting to cover, and this isn't a bad option. We have V1 versus Neon White. Ultra Kill versus Neon White, I guess. Yes.
The aesthetic here is awesome. So Neon White has this like heavenly, angel-like aesthetic in terms of like his character and like his general world, and V1 is this like hellish, demonic, horrible, evil place. This matchup is definitely one just for like the sheer animation potential. Like all of their weapons, they're like bouncing around like the arena, using like that kind of thing is like the whole thing. I don't think it's a very thematic matchup, but it's more of like a cool like visual contrast and a really, really cool animation. I think that's the whole thing with it.
Oh
yeah, with just how similar I think from what I've seen of Neon White, how like similar the games are like in terms of like gameplay and all that, just like the aesthetic clash, just heaven and hell basically. It's that's awesome. And to Neon White, there's a freaking Steve Bloom voice character, man. How can he not be cool? Versus V1, which is just awesome. Like in general.
yeah, I think out of like V1 is a very popular versus candidate, and I think this is definitely the one that sounds coolest in like a dynamic perspective, just because both have like the aerodynamic like classic Doom running gun style, but like they're both have like insane movement options. Like correct me if I'm wrong, but like in V1 can just kind of like ricochet bullets off of other bullets.
Mm-hmm.
Is that? But like just like being able to do
his
that.
big thing is like flicking a coin in the air and shooting the coin, it, like ricocheting everywhere and hitting everything. That's kind of the whole.
Yeah,
like, his big weapon.
Yeah, like the whole ricocheting thing, and then like Neon White's ability just to kind of like dodge through aerodynamically. Like there could be a really cool sequence where it's like they're just running along, the coin flips out, and they're both bullet dodging. Like I don't know, it sounds really cool. I don't know either of these characters, but just like the description of how the fight would go down, it's like I'd watch that.
Yeah, like I can see a point where with the coin flip, they both shoot the coin, and now they're dodging each other's like bullets, or like a thing of V1 punching the shotgun blast to like amplify the pellets, and Neon White just kind of flipping through all of that with the like just stuff like that. It's really awesome potential.
I think White Sword can also reflect stuff, so they could like reflect stuff back at each other.
Yeah.
Imagine he reflects a ricocheted bullet back into the coin and ricochets it back at him. Like weird comparison, but that one fight in like the third Magica Madoka movie where it's like Mami and Homura, and like they're like doing all like those gun kata things, and all the bullets are just like crumbling everything around them. I imagine this fight is going through something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like we would have to have a scene where like for like maybe a split second like slow-mo midair shot where like they're shooting at each other. We kind of cut to the Ultra Kill POV for like a second, and then we cut to like the Neon White POV for a second. We just seeing like their HUDs and their weapons on screen before it just switches back to the fight.
That'd be a cool like animation, like segment.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are like, it's not very thematic, but I think just like if you want to fight animation, this is like the one to do for both of them for sure.
Not to insult these games, but I feel like how thematic are they in general?
Neon White is like a pretty like semi-deep character, like who talks and has like these relationships and like this arc and stuff like that. V1 definitely does not need a thematic matchup though.
Yeah.
Like just
I
just
feel
to
like
be
you
real.
could make some just arguments for just like the Ultra Kill story in general, that they both kind of cover like the cycle of violence and people just being
Mhm.
used by pawns from a higher power. Like, if you really wanted to, you could come up with some good parallels for these two.
Yeah, you can stretch it. That's for sure.
Everyone's favorite matchup. People have been begging for us to do this matchup. Maharaga versus Pochita. This is pretty fun.
Themes and such.
They obviously we
Fight
would
would
be
be
the
cool.
Chainsaw Devil, but I thought using the
Oh,
dog
wait, is
for the
it just
thumbnail would
Pochita?
be
Like in
it's
the
just
dog form?
It's the
Pochita.
dog.
Yeah.
Well, good luck, Pochita.
Put the dog on him.
Hey, if Denji versus Yuji's accurate, then Chainsaw
Get
Devil
ready to
might be
get-
giving Maharaga the hands in the beginning.
Yeah, I was about to say, get ready to get dog walked, Maharaga. Literally.
Not to be mean to the person who submitted this, because I would want Maharaga to be in like I guess no, never mind. I can't see it. I can't speak on any anime because they spoil everything. Spoilers for Jujutsu Kaisen. Spoilers. Please mute me if if I'm spoiling.
Yep, this
please.
is your official warning. If you do not
All right.
mute until we move, this is on you.
Okay, spoilers. I would want a Maharaga matchup that has him in Megami's arsenal or in the Sakuda matchup. That's what I would want personally.
Yeah.
I don't know if Maharaga could have his own episode by himself.
He
Maybe
best
could.
use as like a secondary option.
Yeah.
In,
I mean,
in the main fight.
I've seen like Maharaga versus Doomsday and like similar characters that can just like endlessly adapt. But I do think Maharaga is more of a cool thing to be put in with another character rather than like him being a star of the show, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like imagine something like Sukuna versus King Piccolo where like Sukuna brings out Maharaga to fight like a Dragon Ball character. Like that would be like really cool to me. I don't know if like especially if like for like an analysis, I'm not sure if Maharaga could have his own entire
That is true.
thing.
As a DBX though, this could be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. As a non-research fight, Maharaga versus Doomsday, or Pochita, or some other character, that'd be sick. But
when the Chainsaw Devil eats something and erases it from existence, does that only work on devils, or does that work on like
anything? Okay, again, spoilers for Chainsaw Man, I guess. Pochita and Denji eat an ear, and all ears are erased from existence.
So what happens if so let's say like the Chainsaw Devil eats Maharaga's like leg or something. Would like
Well then all his
what
legs
if
are gone,
but
too.
what if Maharaga adapts to being erased because part of him's got eaten and then he can't be erased anymore?
What's there to adapt to? It's because it's erased already.
That's fair.
That's a theoretical discussion that would be giving me a headache.
Yeah, sorry, Maho. It just eats the wheel. He can no longer adapt.
Just eats the wheel.
Yeah, eats
Wipes
the wheel.
wheels out of history.
Just
Cars can no longer function. Wheels do not exist and will never exist.
that's
Yep.
crazy.
Try another form of transportation. Try horseback sometime.
That's really
But he ate the horses too.
Crap.
Sorry, we don't have a lot to comment on, but it's like a cool fight.
it's kind of funny, and I'm not totally against it. Pin yelled at me for mispronouncing her name, so I'll let him announce what this matchup is.
Homura from Madoka Magica versus Asriel from Undertale. A lot of my friends like this one. I think it's a very cool idea. The animation would be really sick.
Yeah.
I'm on the same boat. Like, this one's surprisingly thematic. And, like, it'd be really interesting to see how their, like, time-based manipulations would play off of each other.
Yeah. This one's kind of teetering on, like, my favorite option to talk about Madoka Magica. That this matchup could be made even better or worse when the new movie comes out. But this does... It's just really cool to me. I like base Flowey fighting, like, base Homura, because it's like... It would be like the characters Flowey normally fights, which is, like, children protagonists. We can have flower bullets versus real bullets. That's just fun. And I just think like seeing like Hamura's like devil form fighting like we would probably, I don't know if we would include Omega Flowey or if we would just skip straight to full form Asriel just because for this fight I feel like it is God of Hyperdeath versus Devil.
I mean, for a
Homura.
Flowey episode, we have to do like for an Azrael episode, we have to do like Omega Flowey. Like that'd be crazy if we didn't do that.
Yeah, but that sounds expensive. And maybe can we just like rip the sprite rigs from the game and use that for like 30 seconds before we get to like Asriel?
Well, I don't know.
Maybe there will be a Flowey video later in this stream where we can see how someone else interprets animating Omega Flowey and Asriel. But yeah, I really like this idea. I like it thematically. I think there's a lot of sprite art on the series that on this matchup that have been put onto Google and Reddit and all that. If you just look this matchup up, is there anything like particular you guys like about this one?
No, I got nothing. Like comment,
I mean,
it's just awesome.
I guess it's
I
just
think the themes are good, and like I'd really want to lean into like both of them, like changing their approaches on like different resets and times. Just really play into like both of them, like using that reset as a crutch and like seeing how they adapt their approach upon finding out, oh crap, they can do the same bullshit as me.
I do like the idea of Fly being really confused. He's like, wait, but I can still do it. So, but how can they do it, but I can also do it? That's not... And then, like, Fly's just confused because they think it's, like, a determination thing. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah. I don't Madoka, so I don't have anything to say about it.
Well, do you know anything about Sonic and Dragon Ball?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely do. That's for sure.
Knuckles versus Piccolo.
Oh, my God. See, look. This one has been talked about a lot in a lot of spaces. I personally believe it's my favorite for both Knuckles and Piccolo. Is just the fight potential in general is nuts. What we can do with that, and as an animator myself, a lot of shit that I can think of just off the bat. And if we're using everything for the character, like having Hyper Knuckles against Orange Piccolo, it's gonna be really really fucking awesome. I just there's just so much we can do regarding that.
So I'm assuming this is one you would want to animate if we ever consider doing it.
Definitely.
I like
yeah.
I mean, I think Piccolo has a pretty interesting spread. This is definitely one of the ones where it's like, I don't think it's my favorite for Piccolo, but like it's definitely like second or third. Like I'd be down to cover this one.
Yeah. Also, it's a classic Sonic versus Dragon Ball matchup that isn't Sonic or Goku. It's like that. It's like this and Shadow versus Vegeta. That are like the ones I would do more than Sonic Goku.
I think this would be a really cool way to cover the series rivalry.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I like
the first antagonist to the main character that turned like ally,
We'd have to have this fight on Angel Island, and I really like the idea of Giant Piccolo either picking up Angel Island to hit Knuckles with Angel Island, or he just like throws Angel Island with Knuckles on it into space or something.
Yeah,
like
and then he comes out. Yeah, and then he comes out as Hyper Knuckles holding the Master Emerald.
Yes.
Let me do you one better. Throws Angel Island into Kami's Lookout and for a seamless fight transition.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, no, definitely, man.
Okay, let us cook, guys. Let us cook.
Man, I will be there. I will be there.
Goku using a Kamehameha to slide on Kefla's laser blast has given precedence to this. Could we have Knuckles grind railing on the special beam cannon?
Dude.
Yes!
Oh Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh
yeah.
gosh, yes.
Yeah, dude. Oh.
A section where like he's climbing and boring through the tall spire on the way up to the lookout.
Mm-hmm.
We just have like a Naruto versus Neji reference where Piccolo tries the Hell Zone grenade, and then it seems like it worked, and then when the smoke clears, he just sees like a hole in the ground, and
Yeah,
that
he just
instant
burrows.
Knuckles uppercuts him.
Yes, dude.
All right, yeah.
All right, there's a lot more dynamically than I originally thought. This may have just bumped it up in my mind.
Yeah,
Dude.
if y'all can't tell, we quite like this matchup. It's a pretty solid
Yes.
option we would all like to do. There is someone suggested Ken versus Aaron. Not really a devil hell demon matchup, but I can briefly say like I think we have talked about this before, so it's just like yeah, it's fine, it's cool.
Yeah, let's try to keep this a little brief, but yeah, it's really cool. It's awesome.
So now we can move on to our matchups. What we talked about for the start of the show is Robbie Reyes. So let's get into it. Robbie Reyes versus Simon Baz was my pick. Now I really like this for a couple of reasons. For me, one of the most compelling aspects of Robbie Reyes is the moments where he has to like struggle against like the systemic racism, and Simon Baz has like a very comparable story to that. So I kind of like how like I think we could go into like very interesting aspects of their character by comparing them to each other. I also just think Green Lantern versus Ghost Rider is a very fun power interaction, because I think Green Lanterns actually can manipulate souls to a certain degree. Like Hal Jordan, Kyle, Sinestro, they've all like astral projected and like protected their own souls, and like I think they've even like there was one time they like took someone else's soul out of their body to protect it. So yeah, like the Green Lantern ring is like really a wish granting ring, so it's really fun to, it has a lot of hacks. That'd be fun to see how it compares to Ghost Rider hacks. But what I like about this in particular is Robbie Reyes' biggest thing is his car, right? And I think Simon Baz is the best character to play off of that, because Simon loves making car constructs. That's another theme, is they're both like mechanics that have worked on cars a lot. Simon loves making cars to just travel around, run people over, get away. He has his own cars he likes to make. He makes like giant semi trucks to run into people. He's made like entire. There was one time he evacuated like I think it was either like a whole country or maybe an entire planet by like making a bunch of highways and car constructs to like, get in the car and we'll highway you off of the planet. He likes his car constructs. Yeah, Simon Baz has some other stuff. I think seeing if like someone saying the Green Lantern oath, which is like a willpower amp, could let him like break out of the penance stare, because I feel like Robbie Reyes' penance stare is like even less reliable sometimes. It doesn't work very often. But I think it'd be really cool. I'd want to cover this aspect extremely tactfully, but I think it'd be really interesting because Simon Baz's religion as a Muslim American is very important to his character. So I think we could have like very brief like character moments where like Simon reacts to fighting someone from actual hell. I think that would just lead to like some fun like dialogue or character moments. Overall, I just like this matchup a lot thematically. I think it's like potentially one of the best for highlighting like Robbie's car in the dynamic. Ooh, I also really like the idea of Simon making like a giant mech for himself, like because Green Lanterns do that a lot. But then like Robbie kicks him out of it, and then he uses like the All Rider powers to like take over the Green Lantern mech, and it can be like a reference to like the Celestial mech he took over once. I think that'd be pretty cool. Like there's just this giant Green Lantern construct that's like on fire. And Robbie amps it, so it'd be even more powerful than Simon made it in the first place. I think that'd be really cool. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Zorro.
All right, I'm going to be talking about a very interesting, if not talked about often, matchup: Beelzemon from Digimon versus Robbie Reyes. And I'm a man of simple desires. I see two cool looking Hell and Fallen Angel themed characters with cool motorized vehicles fighting each other, and I want to see it play out in a very cool fashion. But they've got more going for that. Both of them, Robbie has his connection to his brother, who he's, usually wants to try and protect and has guilt about, not standing up to that. Beelzebub, after, ending up in a similar situation to Right as where he makes a deal with a powerful Digimon in order to get access to this Digivolution back when he was from just an Impmon, kind of goes on his villain arc, but then after spoilers for a really old Digimon in anime, Digimon Tamers. 3, 2, 1. After he brutally murders Leomon and traumatizes its tamer, Jerry, and seeing the horror on her face after getting defeated, and then her sparing his life afterward, besides the fact he kind of goes on this arc where he just regrets everything, then realizes that he can do better, and then kind of revolts against it, and actually is able to fight back against the evils that tried to once persuade him. As far as combat goes, he's got a few cool shotgun attacks. He has his motorcycle is known as the Behemoth, and anyone who tries to ride it actually kind of gets mind controlled by it and becomes its new rider. With the exception of Beelzebub, he's able to control it without it affecting his mind at all.
Mm.
And if that's not enough, he also has a form beyond that called Blaster Mode, where he gets access to a giant gun that just shoots a lot of cool plasma stuff. He also gets some cool wings. So with attacks Darkness Claw, Corona Blaster, Twin Shot, it'd be kind of more he'd definitely be more ranged. So even if he loses the motorcycle, he can still fly around and interact well with Robbie driving around in his car. I could see losing the motorcycle, taking to the skies, and then Robbie chasing him upside a skyscraper, and them just having a shoot off across it.
I do have a question. Do you think Robbie's All Rider ability would not work because of the mind hacks, or do you think that would overcome the mind hacks of the motorcycle?
Really depends on how well his mental fortitude is, because it's not really explained how Beelzebub just is able to control it. Just as a part of the deal, it's all right, and now you can have the Behemoth. So, but when other Digimon, even Guilmon, when he knocked out, there was another Digimon before Beelzebub got it, who had it, and Guilmon knocked him off, and then he got taken over by it. And Guilmon, even though it's kind of a weird one, he digivolves into Gallantmon, which has amazing will. So there could be an argument against the all transformation kind of backfiring and leaving him open, which could be interaction. But honestly, it really just depends on if Robbie has done any kind of similar resistance to mind hacks in the past.
I do like this idea. I like the series combo.
Oh yeah. I think it would make for an amazing fight, and especially if the analysis is about both of their kind of paths to redemption and whatnot.
Oh yeah,
Armand, I think it's your time to shine.
Oh yeah. So the matchup everyone and their mama suggests for Robbie, right? It's Akira Fudo, Devilman versus Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider. So thematics, this one is very, very thematic. Humans fused with demons. This was said with when we talked about Etrigan Devilman. Demons with human demon-like entities with human hearts, and how these two were basically just kids who got into some shit they weren't supposed to and paid for it, right? Like how Robbie was trying to get money in a race and he got shot up for it because he used a card that contained some stuff that he didn't know about. And obviously Akira being caught in the Black Sabbath because he went with Ryo and he fused with Amon to become Devilman. It thematics there is it's solid as hell. And in terms of fight potential, this one is really, really good. You don't really see much of the car in this one, unlike was Simon Baz. Um, but it just there's a lot to play off of with Devilman's powers, with Devilman with the Devil Beam, and him conjuring electricity, him being able to grow big, and all of that. Um, Devilman also can breathe hellfire, not the same hellfire that Ghost Rider has, but it's something that we can play off of kind of Robbie kind of just taking that hellfire, making it his own, or something like that, right? Um, we can take it to space because Devilman has taken many a battle to space. And I don't know, have him be knocked, have Robbie be knocked to a planet, takes that planet over, and now Devilman has to grow big to combat it, right? With because of the All Rider doing his doing their shenanigans, and all of that such. It's a really cool matchup to cover, especially for to bring Devilman into a show, right? Because he is untapped potential as far as I know. And there is so much like material to go off of because of not only of the Devilman OVA, the Devilman Crybaby anime from Netflix in 2018, the multiple manga that he has, not just Devilman, with Devilman Lady, Neo Devilman, Devilman versus Hades, and so many other stuff that you can use for Akira. It's awesome. And you're we should have an awesome counter that because I say that a lot, my bad. But and Ghost Rider, it's cool to cover a Ghost Rider that isn't just Johnny Blaze, right? Robbie is, you can do much more with Robbie because of him being the All Rider, and because how different of a character he is compared to compared to Johnny or Danny.
Yeah, and just to add on, just like even in the versus space, Johnny and Danny are kind of like they already get a lot of love and attention, so it would also just feel fresh, even though it's just just because he's so different from the existing Ghost Riders.
Yeah, exactly.
I would like to ask, just beyond the niceness of not just covering Johnny again, is there a particular reason like Robbie specifically is a good Ghost Rider to pair against Akira Devilman?
Okay, because well, I mean, it's off the bias of Robbie is my favorite rider out of the three, even though Ghost Rider as a concept or as an umbrella character is just like some of my favorite shit in the Marvel universe. That's just not Venom, um, or the symbiotes at that. I it's well compared to Akira, um, they're like there was no like direct deal out of desperation. Well, unlike with Johnny, I know there was a deal with um
Mephisto?
I think there was no deal with Mephisto with Robbie.
Oh,
It was
Eli.
Eli. Yeah, it was Eli. Who basically kind of just took over Robbie to revive him after being shot up, and he kind of just started working with him to just to live again.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a much different than the usual Mephisto contract that you would see out of like your run of the mill Ghost Rider. And with Robbie fighting for control, uh, like of yeah, five. I suck at talking. My bad. But yeah, just fighting for control of just having his own body, not just it being taken over by the Ghost Rider. Many similarities with Akira trying to not like have Amon just be him.
Yeah.
There's much to go off of during that.
Yeah. All right, Pin. I'm very interested to hear about Wally versus Robbie because I didn't really know too much about this before. So, what do you think about this matchup?
Alrighty, so my matchup: Wally West versus Robbie Reyes. So I'm gonna be honest, not very thematic for both. Basically, it's that Robbie and Wally are the most powerful versions of like the specific hero they are taking the mantle of, being Ghost Rider and Flash, and they are like I think they're most well known for being like the apprentices of like the quote unquote main hero, being Barry and Johnny. So like they're the apprentices that grew to be like the superior hero in that kind of sense. Now there's probably more connections if you go like really deep into like the comics and the characters and stuff, but like that's the basic core theme. The more powerful apprentices of the main heroes. That's what it is.
I think more specifically,
Let's talk
it's
about this
that
fight.
they're like the fastest of the two hero types that are like known for being fast. Like Robbie's like the fastest rider, and Wally's the fastest speedster.
Yeah. In terms of the actual fight animation, which is the highlight, it's Flash versus Ghost Rider. Like it's going to be an absolute sick fight with Wally using his speedster abilities, like his speed steal. I think a really cool scene would be them like racing each other with Robbie using like his various like cycles and cars and whatnot to race against Wally. Um, and also Wally West has a certain object in his arsenal that you could include in this fight that makes this very interesting. Oh, Wally West has access to something called the Mobius chair. The Mobius chair, for those unaware, is one of the most powerful DC objects in the multiverse that was even wielded by Batman. It like completely clowns on like these cosmic characters like the Darkest Knight and all this crazy stuff. So I think what would be interesting is like if we give this weapon to Wally, what would happen if Robbie also took control of the Mobius chair? And because it doesn't like go away from Wally either. So they would both have like this insane cosmic like power over all of the multiverse in this fight. Am I arguing that Robbie wins this fight? Yes. Sure. Why not? I think this fight's really interesting. It's really close. I think you can have really cool scenes with like I don't know, like Robbie turning like an entire like I don't know like Mars into a hell weapon and him like riding it towards Wally in space and Wally like phases through the whole thing. Like that would be like a really cool scene in my head. It's debatable if like the hell change and stuff Wally could phase through because that's more like soul manipulation type thing. And I don't know. It'd be like an interesting debate of seeing if like could a impressive speedster like Wally, like how does the demonic powers of a Ghost Rider, especially like Robbie, who has like the All Rider thing of like this insane power, go against the most powerful speedster with the Speed Force? I don't know who would win the fight. And then you'd have to analyze how would the Speed Force interact with the Marvel cosmology in that kind of way, and that's a weird thing to think about, especially considering like Robbie is tied to insanely powerful demons like Zarathos and stuff like that. So I don't know how that would work in that kind of way. I think there's like a lot of interesting discussion in terms of who would win. And if we want to give Wally the Mobius chair, ooh, that gets crazy.
I like the idea
Yeah.
of Robbie like grabbing Wally and then throwing him into the hell portal in the back of his trunk. And like he thinks that I got him, and then Wally just runs out of hell and he gets back in like 3 seconds. It's like, well, I just ran out of hell. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. He went on a highway to hell, you could say.
I think Robbie Reyes
Hey!
is Highway to Hell would go hard as a track name. I think that this matchup is actually somewhat debatable. I scale Robbie like extremely high in the Marvelverse. Like he's crazy. I think like Wally is most likely faster, but not to like an uncontestable agree. Like I think Robbie could still pull off some of his moves. And I would say like I think Robbie is stronger than Wally, so I think like there's some debate to be had here. I think Robbie wins like his whole spread, with maybe the exception of like this one.
Yeah, I think the debate is really interesting, and like the fight, it's awesome. It's like Flash versus Ghost Rider. Like it's gonna be sick. Like yeah,
Trop, if
That's
you
it.
are here and I see you just posted a comment, you can put the poll up for whether they want to see Simon, BL Zaman, Devilman Akira, or Wally West fight Robbie.
Ooh.
I want to say because I forgot to mention this. Never mind. I forgot what I said. Well, I forgot what I forgot to mention, so it's all right. So we have Robbie versus Etrigan. We have the full triangle now. This was suggested by someone as a potential Robbie matchup. Pin, you said you liked this one, right?
Yeah. I mean, again, this is like the kind of the weaker in the triangle between Devilman and these two characters. But I mean, this is really cool. I mean, this is a really classic Marvel versus DC option. Again, a very interesting debate of who would actually win, considering both of them have these like hell powers. Robbie probably beats Etrigan, but I think it'd be really interesting. Yeah, I think both would just be like, I think they would have a really nice analysis to compare it to one another, and it would be like really cool to have like a Ghost Rider fight that just like took place in hell fully. Like
yeah,
do that the
instead of
entire
having it to
thing.
be in hell.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I would like to see that.
I think this is a solid option. I think I kind of like the idea of Devilman Etrigan the most of the triangle, but I think the whole thing's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people were talking about Blue Beetle versus Robbie, and I think we actually have Robbie Reyes for Synergy was the character of the day today, and Blue Beetle was a very popular one on the poll in that server. So this one might have some motion.
I see it.
Blue Beetle is also very strong. He's been getting some crazy statements in recently. I think like this could be somewhat debatable. I don't know if it's super thematic, but it seems like it has a baseline of good connections, and it'd be a good debate.
Yeah.
I'm not mad
I'd be
at this.
interested to see how the penance steer would work on Blue Beetle, if it would at all.
Yeah. And then the Scarab busts out the his backup soul. So,
yeah, the Blue Beetle's crazy.
we have Robbie versus Jessica Cruz. This is very similar to Simon Baz. You can do a lot of the same stuff. I don't want to say it's just like a worse version of that matchup just because I like Simon more. But this is a matchup people talk about. So, yeah.
I see this a lot too. It's just, I think it kind of misses the whole thing of like their love for cars with Simon Baz. So
Yeah.
that's kind of that novelty is kind of lost. But I mean this is still cool. Like I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one below, is that Deadpool?
No, it's Kamen Rider Ghost.
Oh, okay.
Do we have
I didn't
any
think it was
Kamen
going to
Rider
start
fans
with
out of the four of us?
I know this matchup's really cool. I just like I just don't know anything about Ghost. I'm sorry, guys.
Someone distract the stream while I quickly find a list of connections.
Does
I do like how it's
chat,
Rider Ghost versus Ghost Rider. That's fun.
Yeah, if anybody in chat knows who Ghost is, let us know. If not, then well, oh well.
It seems like there's a Kamen Rider matchup for almost anything, which honestly I mess with that.
Except for Sue Storm.
Kamen Rider, Ghost Rider. They're riders. So the connections: 2 teens with dreams of a good life in the future, involving a family member. I guess good. They want to live with their families. That's nice.
Yeah, sure, but
Takeru wants to be just like his father versus Robbie being forced to be a father. Okay. Until one day they're suddenly killed at random.
Don't know Kamen Rider. Okay, man.
Robbie getting gunned down and Takeru getting involved in a fight with Katana and Yarigama that ultimately led to his death. But they come back due to an outside force reviving them, giving them super spiritual powers. And in this new form, they are equipped with a blade, black jacket, and go by a title with the word Ghost and Rider in it, and are now on a mission to stop anyone who preys on the weak.
Oh, so Kamen Rider Ghost is literally just a Ghost Rider Kamen Rider. That's pretty sick.
So it would seem.
Wow, yeah. That's neat.
I feel like we're kind of taking the piss out of this matchup a little bit just because we don't know Kamen Rider, but
yeah. Oh no,
I'm sure
I
it's
wasn't
cool.
trying to be
I'm sure
sarcastic
it's
with
cool.
that, Carmen. Like
Kamen
the
Rider
idea
is
of
dope. So I mean,
yeah, like a Ghost Rider Kamen Rider like actually sounds really cool.
yeah.
So we can move on to the versus community highlight right now. And something I wanted to highlight specifically, because this is going around in my versus circles, was this YouTube channel that kind of just makes polls. Made a poll on who would win out of 4 characters with a rock theme. And over 200,000, it was over 250,000 people voted on the poll. The poll was between Toph, Tremor, Thing, and Titan from Invincible. Who do you guys think won that poll? Don't end the poll yet, Trop. Keep it going for a while. Over 200,000 people think that Toph would beat the Thing.
Dude,
It seems that you disagree.
I would disagree. I would say I think the Thing would beat the Toph very concretely.
I don't think so. I think Toph wins.
Explain yourself.
Buddy.
So, Ben, his skin is made of rocks. So Toph could pick Ben up and then just like crush him into like powder.
See, here's
That's
the
what
funny
she would do.
thing is that's not even correct. He is not
Yeah,
made of
his-
rock. He is made of
his-
like a super dense biological material.
Yeah, and also
It's
like
rock enough.
even if it's actual rock, Toph's like whole thing is that her being able to bend the like Earth is like Earth made material. The origin has to be from Earth. Thing is purely cosmic, pure like cosmic radiation. So even if it's actual rock, it is cosmic. It's not from Earth. So she wouldn't even be able to manipulate Ben at all.
I think she would.
I mean,
'cause he's made of
Toph
rock.
has bended a meteor before.
Yeah. And
Space
she
Earth.
also can bend metal. She was the first metal bender. If anybody could figure out how to bend something like the Thing's skin, it would be Toph, and she would win with no difficulty.
What's Toph gonna do when Ben claps and the entire
Well,
country
he would
they're
like
in
almost
is
clap, and then she'd like
infected?
stop his skin and then like
Oh.
crush him immediately.
Okay.
Oh, you think
man.
Toph has better reaction speed than the Fantastic Four member?
It would just be frame 1, just boom, dead.
Pin,
Like,
was
it would
was
be
it
like
you
when
and
Dr.
your
Manhattan-
200,000 alternate accounts that voted for Toph?
It would be like when Dr. Manhattan killed Rorschach. That would just be like just boom. Toph would wave her hand, like move her finger like 1 millisecond, and then just Ben's dead. No. difficulty.
Realistically, I would see them settling their differences with like an arm wrestling competition.
In which Ben kind of just crushes her fucking arm.
Ben would take it very easy.
He would
on
do
her.
this. Fuck you. Crush her
Yes, we-
arm.
It's clobbering time. And then
He would do this. He would do this.
And then Toph is dead.
I hate little blind girls. Die.
That's my
Benji's
favorite
here.
Ben Grimm quote. Yeah, I
And
think
people wonder why he's a monster.
I just think it's fun to look at the YouTube community that may or may not know anything about versus and think like, yeah, the Toph from Avatar can probably beat the Marvel character that fights the Hulk.
Yeah, man. That consistently like throws
He
hands
doesn't
with Hulk.
win against the Hulk.
Albeit Hulk has
He
not
doesn't
been
need
at
to
full
win against the
power.
Hulk. He just needs to like tank one
And
punch, and he's infinitely
doesn't matter.
stronger than the
His
Avatar
skin's
verse.
made of rock, so Toph would just control him.
Toph has never bent planet level rocks, let alone like universal level rocks.
I think the Earth is actually made of rocks, and the Earth is a planet, so therefore she.
Toph has never
Okay.
bent the planet before.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
has. She bends the Earth all the time. There you're talking.
Dude,
Not the entirety of it.
Freaking theorist ass logic over here.
they're not the whole thing is just bits and pieces of the very little rock that's compared to the planet Earth.
I
She
don't
can
like,
Well,
bend
Chad-
Earth,
Chad
but
agrees
she
with me.
can't
Chad agrees with me.
bend the Earth.
Chad agrees with me.
I don't like how good Pin is at rage baiting me.
Dude,
All right. I'm gonna move
Yeah.
us over to the video segment. All
Good
right.
idea.
But I also have to switch what I'm streaming so y'all can see what I'm streaming. Perfect. Y'all can see the YouTube video now.
Is it blurry? On
Yeah.
I see the
season?
Koopa. Yes, I see.
There is a confused Koopa.
Perfect. We'll bump this to.
Presumably in Gmod.
This is Flowery versus Flowey, which should be interesting.
Weeks ago, my friend said that Flowey from Undertale could beat Flowery from Deltarune in a fight.
What's
This
this
phrase stuck with me so
intro?
much, I decided
Is
to make an
this
entire fight
important
against
to
them.
know?
Blanche just said no.
What?
Mr. Bossman just said no.
No.
I guess we aren't watching this video then. All right.
Or maybe he's saying no that he can't see it.
Oh, Chop. It was Chop accidentally tapping his Plime.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I was about to, I thought
All right.
Blimes like had
Dude.
beef with Cooper Plays for a second, and I was like, oops.
Drop.
Was this? I was thinking like, was this video used with like AI or something? What?
This does not. If this is AI, I'll be shocked.
You need to increase the speed.
Hello,
just a
and welcome
little
back to another episode of Game Plays. Today, I'm creating a theoretical fight between Flowery, Undertale's hateful flower, against Flowery, Deltarune's anime college boy. Your best friend against your dad's best friend.
So
You'll win
we
in
can
this
talk a
fight.
little bit over
This
this.
is-
Yeah, we can talk over it.
So what
I'm
is
just gonna
the
make this intro quick so we can get
this
straight into the fight.
Gmod intro?
Okay, so Flowey has 3 different forms. Base Flowey,
Oh,
Omega
he's
Flowey,
just
and
explaining
Azrael
what
Dream.
the
Yeah,
Base
yeah.
Flowey has a
Yeah,
low defense,
He's
attacks
the
with high damage
only
dealing
like
bullets.
host.
Is able to
kid, I
save-
guess.
Yeah, he is like the
causing him to
Koopa.
have
That's
knowledge
like
of the entire
his
underground and game's mechanics.
persona.
Avatar.
Omega Flowey has the power of 16 souls. which is
How
equal to
would you
everyone
all
else.
feel about
Five,
like a
six.
Stop
theoretical,
Entire
just like
universes, create
Koopa.
infinite
Deltarune
monsters.
versus
Even though as far as
Undertale
changing how the
matchup?
game works. Finally, Azrael has every monster
I'm
soul
good.
and 16 souls.
I would
Infinite
want
attack and defense,
Deltarune to
and holds all the
finish
same powers
to
as
see
Omega
any
Flowey.
interactions
Way
with
strong.
Undertale
In this
before we
form, his emotions are in
attempted
overdrive.
something
Just
like
two monsters
that.
souls
Yeah,
absorb.
I would like for
With the power of
Deltarune to
souls,
be a
Flowey can turn
finished
himself from soulless
product.
flower to a god.
Depending on who the
Flowey
knight
has 2
is,
forms. Base Flower and
theoretically,
Omega
if the
Flower.
knight
He copied that from
versus
Omega Flower.
Cut
Flower
to
has
it.
basic game
Could be
rules.
cool.
Give himself maximum stats.
Yeah,
Even
but
if they may be
I'd
big,
want to
extremely
like
durable, able to take multiple hits,
see
dodge, and hold back against the
what
sword, which
their
manages to cut
limits
10
would
arms
be
off.
before
Can
we,
freely
you
fly
know.
and
Yeah.
move at incredible speeds. He also
Yeah.
has the power of
Especially if
friendship.
it ends up,
This isn't a joke.
you know,
This is the powerful
Deltarune
power
and
that he has.
Undertale
His
ending
major
up being
downside
like
is that
a
he will drop
prequel,
whatever he's doing
sequel
for
type
Asper's needs,
thing, or
making him
you
vulnerable.
know.
Omega Flowery
Yeah,
has
something
all
like
the same
that.
powers as Flowery, but combined with the other flowers, all of which are powerful in their own ways. With that quick summary out of the way,
You
here's
guys
the
have a
main reason why
flowery
you probably
matchup
picked
you like?
the fight itself.
Not
I
yet.
haven't finished
but-
chapter 5 yet, so
I have not kept up with Deltarune past like chapter 3.
Well, Flowery's the character in chapter 4.
Hey there, little
5.
Oh yeah, you. Sorry, you guys might get spoiled on this then.
I don't care.
It's me, Flowery.
I kind of lost.
I mean, I know of the existence of Flowery, but
Here it's
like,
me.
I don't know much
For
about
those who
him
don't know,
besides
that's
the
like
fact-
That guy.
actual voice clips in the game. He has voice clips.
Jerome.
Jerona.
I'm only trying to help you.
Yeah, I've seen.
I never seen the back of
Voice
Flowery
acting in
before. That was
Deltarune?
weird.
What the hell?
Flowery gets the 6 human souls because base Flowery has almost no durability. It stands for the problem for base Flowery, even with save points.
That's
I'll take
cool,
Flowery
actually.
to
I
strike
haven't
with Flowery.
interacted like that.
Oh, he's going straight to Omega.
She's a starter.
Yeah, because he just said like Flowery would beat Flowey base to base easily.
I'm gonna go over there.
It's my Jerome. It's so human. My king.
So this guy is just using like the Undertale and Deltarune like sprites, but it doesn't look too bad.
While this is happening, Armin, I have a question for you.
What's up?
If you were to tackle
Sorry to keep you
doing
waiting.
a Flowey matchup, and like, how would you approach doing it like a Flowey in the sprite animation?
Yeah.
That's a lot of moving parts.
Francisco!
That's for sure. It's
Would it be hard for one person to do that?
And one more for the fans.
Well, like to create a whole fight with that, obviously, but assuming with a team, not so much. I would kind of just.
Okay,
Wow,
so
he's
Omega
dead.
Flower is extremely overpowered. Since he absorbed the 6 souls, he now has control over the entire world. This allows him to freely create anything he wishes and save whenever. In this form, his only weakness is the human souls he absorbed. Since they're able to turn against him, the only way they repelled was from Frisk calling out for help. Frisk was able to act to become allies with the souls. Who else is able to
Okay.
act and have the power of friendship? Flowery. At this stage, Omega Flower is just too strong.
This fight's funny.
It is. I like how they're mixing up the explanation and the fight.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, and it's not just like, oh, this character stomps no diff. It's just like, okay,
No way.
at this level, this one has the edge, but if they're both at these levels,
Hey.
Huh?
Sorry about the guy.
Well, if I gave Flower the souls, we can have the 6 flowers, I guess.
it's just like how casually it's like, oh yeah, I guess you can have the
Yeah.
flowers. Oh gosh, he's gone Ultra Instinct.
He's got hypersonic.
Hyper follow.
Leave it to me.
Yeah, in terms of tackling Omega Flower, yeah, basically it's a lot of moving parts in which not sure, daunting at first, but I guess if I really just get into it, I could probably do it.
I'll show you.
It would not be my first thing to do though with Flower. Personally, I think I would want to just go straight to freaking Azrael.
I imagine.
Sorry, little guy.
I would imagine if we
Solid
did
A.
Omega Flowey
Try
as
again.
like a progression thing, at the very least we'd just have like Omega Flowey like not really moving around, so we could potentially just have like as few moving parts as possible and just kind of zoom in and zoom out maybe.
It would depend on the
Flowery
matchup.
is already able to spare enemies.
It would really depend
And
on
this
the
time, he has
matchup.
the other
Yeah.
flowers with him. Green and blue
There's
have
certain
particular
matchups
scheming,
I could
while
see us
orange,
just
yellow,
like
not restrained.
bypassing
Seth
the
is
Omega
able to analyze
Flowey
enemies
phase
and
and
find
go
weak points.
straight
If
to
Flowery
like
could spare every
Azrael.
enemy in Chapter 5, he
Yeah.
could probably spare the souls.
Yeah, like I would do that for
14 Frisk
Homura,
to do the same.
for example.
Now, what Flowery
Yeah.
could every Master Soul?
But if it was like the princess, then it's like,
Although the idea of like Omega Flowey versus Witch Komata does sound cool, but would be
Yeah.
way out of budget.
Yeah, I feel like much
And also
people
just
way
Omega
more care
Flower in
about
general.
like their bases and their like full power. I feel like Witch versus Omega is very cool, but like the lowest priority
You're
and
a
also the
hero.
most
It's like-
expensive.
That's my dream.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
with Cell. You know, first form, you skip second
He
form,
has infinite
or you
attack
go
and
Yeah.
straight
I
for
really need to
perfect.
explain. That was my anime fight between Flowey and Fiery. I really enjoyed making it, even if it crashed CapCut a couple of times.
Oh,
have
Azrael
any-
just obliterates
all
him.
right.
Existing. Cool.
That
yeah.
was a
Yeah.
very cute fight. That was very cute. That was very
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that was
something.
fun.
Yeah, so it's just a fun little thing. I think the format of like doing very brief fights between the forms is interesting. I almost imagine you could do something similar with like maybe Ryu Goku, maybe where you talk about like I don't know, like Kid Goku to Z Goku to Super Goku versus like Canon Ryu, Marvel versus Capcom Ryu, Asura's Wrath Ryu. It could,
Yeah.
It's an interesting format, and I just think because they're so similar in sprites, just Undertale and Deltarune sprites look very good next to each other.
Oh yeah, of course.
I also love how they just keep talking to the host throughout the entire thing, like, "Hey, can I give some buffs, please?" And he's like, "Yeah, all right."
So the drunk giraffe, we're not gonna watch this because it's too long, even if we had time to spare. Did a Kyogre versus Chaos video. Have any of y'all watched it? Because I watched this.
No,
I have
I
not.
was gonna watch that later today.
Well, I'll spoil it.
I have watched giraffes like other stuff. I think it's pretty.
It's pretty solid. So he goes over like the comparison between Kyogre and Chaos, and I think he does a pretty interesting job because he like starts off with how Chaos has better. He thinks like he talked about a ton of ends for both Pokemon and Sonic, and he said while there's like similar levels with similar leeway to both, Chaos is always going to be a little ahead of Kyogre, but not to like an insurmountable degree. And he said like Chaos also has better survivability since he can kind of just exist within. Trop will end the poll at the end of the versus community highlights. He said like Chaos had better survivability, but he went on to say like, despite like the more usual important advantages going to Chaos, Kyogre's like versatility with the ability to summon any water type Pokemon, the fact that he can like control chaos because he's made of water, and Kyogre being like the more competent, strategic, aware of the two of them, led to Kyogre taking the win. I thought that was a pretty cool way to go over it. I felt like hydrokinesis being a whole category in the beginning was very weird, but the way they explained it, it made a lot of sense to me. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, Kyogre being able to control Chaos's body would be a huge advantage.
Mhm.
Do you guys like this matchup?
I don't know anything about Pokemon really, but I do like Chaos.
Like,
So
I've
Don't-
heard of this a lot.
yeah. I don't like it as much as like the big supporters do, but that doesn't mean I don't like it. There are just other legendaries like Rayquaza that I'd rather see more than Kyogre Chaos, but like
Mhm.
if we decided that we needed a Pokemon matchup and we decided this one, I'd be pretty down for it.
I think it's a very solid option for both. This used to be like one of my all-time favorites. I've kind of chilled out on it just because I think there's other Sonic and other Pokemon matchups I'd want to do more. But I think this is still pretty solid.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at. It's good, but like when I compare it to other stuff I'd want to do from both franchise, it's not the biggest priority.
Yeah. So,
I think we got time for one more thing, so I'd actually like to Demon and Archer released a trailer for Tatsumaki versus Endeavor, so I think that'd be a good way to kind of finish this up. About a minute long.
Okay.
Oh shoot, let's do it.
Another one? When will these monsters stop and realize how beneath they are to me?
Oh, I know who that means.
Hey! That freak was my assignment, moron! Who the hell are you?
Look, little girl, I don't know who exactly you think you are, but I'm Endeavor, so don't throw a hissy fit that you don't get what you want. How typical.
that seems like fun.
Yeah, it seems like they might have a bit of a car EXE problem where Tatsumaki's talking kind of softly. But unlike us, they have subtitles, so even worst case scenario, Tatsumaki will still be hearable.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I heard her like for the first line, and the next it's kind of just got drowned.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks pretty cool.
We were potentially going to talk about a blog that came out for Chicken Nugget versus Irma, which is a matchup I really like, but we kind of just ran out of time for this one, so we'll have to save that for some other time, perhaps. This is
Apologies, everybody.
this feels like a good place to end the cast. New FCC stuff coming out. Drunk Giraffe was fun. That little Flowery versus Flowey was a good time. I think we talk about some good stuff. Trop, you may now end the poll, and we can see who won.
Looks like it's a straight up tie.
Oops. Sorry, I was. Wait, who's it between?
Between
Devilman and
Devilman
Simon.
and Simon Baz.
But you know,
Unless someone
poll
else votes
hasn't
for...
technically ended yet, so we'll see if it stays
Watch
like
Wally
that.
sweep.
Oh,
and-
yep. Devilman and Simon have tied for first place, while Wally West and Beelzemom also tie for second place at 14% each.
Yeah.
Dang.
Interesting.
Devilman did have the lead for a lot of it though.
I'm kind of
Yeah,
surprised
yeah.
Simon did better than Wally, just because I feel like Wally's such a more recognizable name. I guess Green Lantern versus Ghost Rider is a compelling idea. Yeah. So yeah, that was stuff. Coming up on some... What do we have coming up for the Nebula Theater next? We have I have a list. My mouse has gone invisible because my computer is acting up today.
Incredible.
But we have,
Perfect job.
there we go. We have
Drum roll, please.
we have coming up on the 13th, we have the Plime's return to streaming. We have a Nebula versus core of Lane versus Donnie Darko. That will be a fun little debate. On the 18th, from 2 weeks from now, we will have another NT cast where we will be finding matchups for Ryu. Street Fighter Ryu, not Hayabusa. That'll be fun. Me and Zoro will probably be on that one, as well as some others. And on the 27th, we have the Sonic versus Goku Nebula versus Court. So yeah, we talked a lot about Piccolo versus Knuckles today, and we'll talk a bit about Sonic versus Goku later this month. So yeah. And we will be releasing an update video on Zim versus Crypto probably this month. Maybe.
Looking forward to that.
Solid 50% chance we'll drop an update video this month. But yeah, this has been a good time. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll catch you in
Hope
the
you all
next one.
enjoyed.